Madam President, our nation is at a critical moment in our fight against COVID-19. We see declining infections, declining hospitalizations and deaths, and thanks to 3 effective vaccines and perhaps more on the way, adherence to social distancing and mask wearing, this new administration has put together a comprehensive plan to address and defeat this virus. But we aren't out of the woods yet. In the United States, we have less than 5% of the world's population and 20% of the COVID cases and deaths. We continue to see 50 to 60,000 new COVID cases every day. We still have approximately 4,700 people hospitalized because of COVID in the United States. We still tragically lose 1,200 American lives each day. While access is improving greatly, we still see too many people struggling to get a vaccine. If we're going to defeat this virus once and for all, we need our top public health officials in place on the job. Yet, our Republican colleagues continue to block the nomination of Javier Becerra to head the Department of Health and Human Services, the chief federal agency responsible for public health response to COVID. Their campaign to leave the top public health position in this nation empty in the midst of a pandemic is unwise. It has to come to an end. It's been 3 months since President Biden announced that he would nominate Mr. Becerra to serve as Secretary of Health and Human Services. A majority of senators support his nomination. I do. He's a personal friend, someone I've known for years, extremely competent, ready for the job. Yet Republican senators continue to delay Javier Becerra's nomination day after day after day. Their objections to him are all over the map. They say they oppose him because of his support for the Affordable Care Act. Remember that one? President Obama's Affordable Care Act that took half of the people who were uninsured in America and gave them the protection of health insurance, many for the first time in their lives. It provided health coverage to more than 20 million Americans. It's been a lifeline to families nationwide. Most people would say, thank goodness, Mr. Becerra supported it. For a man who wants to be Secretary of HHS, we would almost insist on that. And yet Republicans oppose his nomination because of that. And they also don't like the fact that he was the Attorney General of California and he enforced the state's COVID-19 rules. How can defending public health rules disqualify a person who wants to be America's top public health official? We're in the midst of a lethal pandemic that has claimed nearly 530,000 American lives. More people infected and dying every day. Is this any time to play politics with the Department of Health and Human Services? I don't think so. Javier Becerra is an effective manager, a smart, thoughtful, passionate leader. He's the right person to lead the department. He served in the U.S. House of Representatives for more than 2 decades. As California's top prosecutor since 2017, he took on the tobacco companies and the opioid manufacturers. 3 cheers for him in both instances. And he helped defend health care for families, women, and the LGBTQ community. In his confirmation hearing, Mr. Becerra highlighted his commitment to serve all Americans by expanding access to health insurance, lowering prescription drug prices, improving rural health care, and addressing racial and ethnic disparities in care. Would you expect anything less from a man who wants to lead our public health effort? When he's finally confirmed this week after this unconscionable delay, and he will be confirmed, he'll be the first Latino to serve as Secretary of HHS. His historic confirmation will be especially meaningful at this moment in time when Latinos are disproportionately affected by the medical and economic impact of COVID. Delaying his confirmation only hurts our nation, still struggling to beat this pandemic, still working to get everyone vaccinated, to get our schools open and everybody back to work. Sadly, these Republican senators who have led this charge against him are demonstrating obstructionism at its worst and at the worst moment. I look forward to confirming Javier Becerra to be Secretary of Health and Human Services.